My favorite memory from my years in school would have been the field trips in high school. Those trips always held a special place in my school memories. One day, during such a trip, our school bus came to a halt near an open field. As we got down, we saw a herd of domestic elephants. As I neared, I noticed each of the elephants was being held by a rope tied on one end to its front leg and on the other end to a wooden stake. No chain, no cage. I was bewildered. This enormous creature could just get away from its shackle, but for some reason it didn't. Why? I saw a mahout, an elephant trainer nearby, and asked him, I see these elephants tied down by a thin rope, yet they are not making any effort to break free. Why? Now, the mahout was bewildered. Perhaps no one ever asked him such a question. He thought about it, smiled, and answered. When it was young, the baby elephant tried its level best to break free. But over a period of time, it learned not to try at all. Then he allowed me to touch its trunk. As I patted it, he said gleefully, now they are conditioned to believe that they cannot get away. They think that the rope can still hold them and making no effort to break free. My geography teacher and the tour guide was listening to our conversation and was quite pleased. He summoned the rest of the students and said, some of us go through the life hanging on to the belief that we could not do anything because, like the elephant tied to its rope, we are conditioned to believe that we cannot change our situation. But this elephant, when they were roaming in the wilderness and free, they were roaming freely. Increasing his voice, he implored all of us, my sons, be like the elephant in the wild, magnificent, magnanimous, and mighty. Friends, I will forever remember those words of my teacher on that special day. Decades later, I, along with my wife, landed in Dallas. Both my daughters were born here, and as they grew up, I started liking a special place, a toy store called Kitty City. Kitty City was a supermarket down on MacArthur, filled nothing only with toys. My kids would roam around through the aisles filled with toys. Sometimes the only sound we could hear was the beeping of electronic toys. Visiting the Kitty City was as magical to my kids as visiting the Taj Mahal by the moonlight was for me. We loved the sound, the sight, the sensation of the toys all around us. Over a period of time, the store owner became friendly with me. But the advent of online marketplace negatively impacted his store. Who will buy our merchandise when anyone can order from the comfort of their home just with a click of a mouse? He would often lament. His cynicism was compounded by the naysayers who painted a bleak outlook on the horizon. I tried to reassure him, why don't you get a slice of the cake along with the online retailers? Why don't you open a website for your store? You could leverage the wide selection of store inventory and your loyal customer base. He never listened. like the elephant tied to a rope, he was conditioned to believe that he could not change his situation. He resigned to his fate, and our beloved kiddie store was closed down forever. It was 10 years back, but every time I stop by the store, I think about the elephants that I saw during our hill trips. But unlike those elephants tied to its fate, the store owner could have exercised his open will and thinking, but he never did. And he became a slave to his self-limiting beliefs. I wish he had joined us in our field trip and listened to the wise words of my teacher. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and guests, what would you like to be? The elephant tied to its destiny, or the elephant roaming freely in the wilderness? The magnificent, the mighty, the magnanimous. Madam Toastmaster.